Hello and welcome to another Warcraft, the audio commentary shoutcast thingamajiggerbobber. We're going back a couple weeks to watch this game. This game is from Zotac maybe 3 weeks ago, I think. And one of the players in particular is going to be DkH.Starshaped. And he's a very special player because today he's actually joining us for the co-cast. Hello.
Hello.
And welcome.
Thank you.
And yes, I just want to say thank you for joining us, by the way. It's awesome to actually have a player come on, you know, because watching one of your own replays, you can help analyze it and, you know, see what's going to happen and tell us in all the glorious details and wonderful tips that we can learn. So there's a lot of expectation from you.
Yeah, it's my
or
pleasure.
not. Whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. Not trying to put you on the spot or anything, but yeah. So let's introduce the players. We did just sort of introduce Starshaped. Let's do it formally. We do have him spawning in as the teal Night Elf in the upper right. He's, of course, going to be playing Keeper of the Grove first. I don't know why I said of course there, but that's what he's doing. And he's going to be going up against BLR.HQ.Worker. This is ORCworker. You probably know him by ORCworker.
He's on
and
DkH now.
He's what? Oh, he is. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's breaking news. I don't know if that's breaking news. We're going to say it is. It's fairly new. So, but he's spawning as the yellow orc in the lower left, and he's going with a blademaster and grunt build. The map is Amazonia, and of course we're going to see Starshaped. He's just going to scout out the base. There's a scout peon on the way towards your base. And what were you thinking coming into this match, or if you remember? I don't know if you would remember, but like if you were playing it today.
Well, I play a fairly unorthodox style with Keeper of the Grove and Huntresses, and I've met ORCworker quite a few times on the ladder on WC3.
The town is under siege.
Oh yeah.
And I usually beat him, so I was pretty confident going into this. And he's very he doesn't know what to do against this, and he's kind of defeated mentally.
Okay. So what is the strategy?
Well,
it starts with Keeper of the Grove.
Yes, and I go with the Huntresses.
Do you do two accent?
Exactly. And one of them is at the bottom, so I can mention a work rate a bit later.
Oh, that's actually
And
clever.
I first saw this. I actually watched like old replays a while ago, and I switched to O. And there's an American player called Axlav, or Axlav, and he played a lot of.
Or however.
I noticed that he played a lot of hunts in every matchup actually. So I figured he's a very smart player. So I figured he had to have a reason for it. So I started thinking about it, and I thought that you know, Huntresses are kind of the most unique tier 1 unit. They're very dominating, you know, fast speed and splash damage. So that's why I started doing it. It's Keeper of the Grove is probably the best choice, in my opinion, against Orc, because you can sort of keep him in his base with the entangling roots.
Yeah, and what level, do you happen to know what level entangling roots has to be to actually cancel a salve? Because I was just watching, it looked like level 1 wasn't quite enough.
No, it's... I think because if a spell is to cancel a salve, it has to do a certain amount of damage.
Yeah, and I think it's 30 or 40, but I don't know.
I think it's 20?
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure, but level 3 entangling roots will cancel the salve, but not the level 1 or 2.
Okay, well that's cool to know. That's absolutely some cool little advice. Now, in this game, of course, we did see the ORCworker. He is going to go for a tech. If you're going with a double rack Hunts build, generally your tech is a little bit later, or maybe even delayed at all. Do you ever even, would you, like, when would you consider teching in this sort of situation as the Night Elf player?
Generally, I would tech at 36 food if I don't like lose anything, and that's a good time, because then I can add 2 archers to be at 40 food, and I'll add a moonwell, and then I'll keep making archers, because the Huntresses, they kind of become obsolete once Hex is out, and if you just go Huntresses, they can go Demolishers, or just Spirit Link will destroy you. So,
and with the archers... Yeah, sorry, you continue. I'm sorry.
No, I add the archers and the Druid of the Talon, just for the just to combat, like, because the Orc has very efficient healing and a very strong army. So anything to add DPS and remove to their armor is what I'm going for.
Okay. So in archers, they do about the same amount of single target damage as a huntress, if I'm not mistaken, right? I mean, they seem to have the same attack range. Of course, there's different attack types, normal versus piercing there. And actually in the game, let's just go ahead and note that your Keeper of the Grove is in a little bit of trouble here. I don't think he's going to go down because he has fairly close to those Moonwells, but that was pretty close, down to 40 life, maybe 1 or 2 more hits from that Blademaster, one if it got a critical, and he did have boots and you did not, but interesting that he did back off right there. Was that a good decision? Would you have backed off right there if you were playing that Blademaster?
I think I would have backed off even sooner, because I mean, even if you kill a level 1 keeper, it doesn't do too much. I don't think it's worth the attention to give it.
Okay.
A lot of orcs will just right-click it and all game if they can, and I think that's a big mistake, because I can live with a low-level keeper, but the orc can't live without a pimped Blademaster. So.
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah. So you would think maybe he should be item creeping right now.
Yeah, exactly.
How would you deal with that as an elf?
As an elf? Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, the entire point of going keeper is to, keep him from creeping and keep his grunts in his base so he can't creep even more. So if he chases my keeper, then he's just helping me achieve my own goal.
Oh,
and if he just creeps hardcore, then I entangle a grunt and I focus it, and that's about it.
So, like, his only option really would be maybe to go into the green camps and actually go around, try to maybe go for the orange camps if he can maybe stealthily do that with his Blademaster, but not, like, try to fight off your army.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't really like about this matchup in particular, because it really comes down a lot to luck, because the Blademaster can solo creep. So it's kind of up to me to find him, and if I can't, then he's at a pretty big advantage, and if I do, then I'm at a big advantage.
So it's like a big kind of scouting mental game.
Yeah, because Windwalk is just, you can easily lose track of.
Oh yeah, easily.
Blademaster. And now I just summoned 1 treant instead of 2. That was a mistake.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a difficult ability to use sometimes, because if you don't get it quite right on those trees, it won't give you the full number.
And there's a pretty big mistake coming up, because he's never gone Tauren Chieftain against me before. So I was kind of not expecting this, and he gets a lot of units.
Alright, so Tauren Chieftain, a good stomp right there, getting a couple units down. As we can see, of course, we see these archers now. They're trying to get away. It looks like one archer is certainly going to die as well right there, indeed. And yeah, I mean, looks like you're gonna have to back off, maybe just get better positioning versus them, or what's your goal thinking when you saw the Tauren Chieftain?
Well, the thing is, like right now, I lost 4 units, I believe, and really, there's no excuse to lose a single unit, until raiders are out or if they have hex. So this is a pretty big mistake on my part, and there's no reason for it.
Okay, and what are you going to try to do to like compensate? And actually, I see you're going with a Demon Hunter second, which is definitely a very interesting build, of course, as well as researching Centennial. Or Centennial, I did it again. Sentinel.
Well, Demon Hunters, I actually never seen anyone get him as a second hero that much. But
no, never.
But I think that's just like a stigma that he's used as the first hero, so nobody considers him as a second hero. But I think, especially against Shadowhunter with like Healing Wave, you really need that mana burn to be able to fight from the Lake King.
Alright, if I was, my line of thinking would be that, for Demon Hunter you need him to be like level 3, but I suppose you can do that. It's like Panda, you need him to be level 3.
Yeah, you need him level 3, but he's also, in case there's like a hard push, then he's not that bad at level 1, if you put a push on him.
That's a good point. He is a very good agility hero. He's probably the only melee agility hero in the game that can really go toe-to-toe with a Blademaster.
Yeah.
And, until the Blademaster hits like level 5 or something, at which point you're like, oh, well, hello, criticals. Yes, Cyclones. Cyclone's great. Is that one of your goals with this strategy, is to end up with Cyclone?
Well, eventually it kind of depends on how the game goes. Since I lost quite a few units back then, it's not really safe to do it, but I think I do it eventually. Okay. The goal is to get full attack upgrades on the archers with marksmanship and fairy fire, because that's like the most I guess in Warcraft.
Yeah, that old chestnut. That's actually a strategy. If you've never played against that strategy, it's very high DPS. Usually you see it with Priestess of the Moon first because you do get that aura, but also Searing Arrows, which adds a load of damage. For example, it's not entirely uncommon when you see solo Potom play to see a Potom end up with like 100 DPS or something, which is just insane.
I sometimes go Priestess second. I've actually been experimenting quite a bit with different heroes, and it's perfectly viable.
Yeah, that sounds amazing, and I'm gonna ask this. I don't know if you've done it or not, but have you? I remember a player. I don't quite remember his name, but I played against him occasionally on BNet sometimes, and he would actually do a strategy which was basically archers, dots, in an early expansion, and he would go just mass Ancient of Wars and go Priestess of the Moon first, and he would use his Ancient of Wars to tank, and he would move him across the map with Nature's Blessing, and just do a load of damage. Very difficult to actually combat that. So, have you ever considered doing something like that with this strategy, or is that too expensive?
Well, I've thought a lot about using Ancient of War offensively, but I've never really gotten around to it because I guess it would work on small maps like Echo Isles or something. You can, but really, I think it's kind of easy to avoid them, circumvent them, as your opponent can just, if he's good.
Yeah, he can just run around and not take a fight with it.
Yeah,
that's definitely a good point. I definitely I imagine it would be very difficult to pull off, but I think it would be very entertaining. So. That's me. But we actually see down here, looks like ORCworker is coming up here to try to get a creep jack on you. As we do see, is kind of prepared with a scroll of protection as well as a scroll of healing. But his heroes are currently only 2-2, which isn't quite as good as your 3-2, but it looks like he's going to have superior positioning, getting right on top of those archers. Going to force you to TP right out. And unfortunately, it looks like you're not going to be able to quite get that Renegade Wizard down. Well, you did get a Sentry Ward down, so you will be able to see exactly what's going on. And you will see he just picked up a Scourge Bone Chimes. And that's a bit of a scary item on a Blademaster. I mean, even not counting, even if he is going Headhunters.
Yeah, too bad his army is mostly ranged.
Yeah.
And also, I TP'd with like 2 lightning shields on me, and the TP makes them all clumped up, so I lost a lot of
Moonwell juice, right?
Yeah, so this has been a pretty disastrous game so far, to be honest.
Well, that's not great. I see that you have you've got enough Moonwells now up to 70 food. Is that because you want to break soon, or you just want to have, like, because your Moonwell juice is expired, you want to have a little bit of extra? Or what was that thinking?
Well, Moonwell is always good to have, and in case... Well, I'm going to bank as long as I feel it's safe to bank, so it's always good to be able to break if you need to.
Okay.
As you can see, he's breaking pretty early, and I can't really scout that yet, but once I see his army now, I'm probably going to... I just started actually tier 3 tech, so it's unfortunate timing, but
yeah,
I will break as soon as I see, because he has a really scary army right now.
Yeah, his army is fairly large. It looks like you're about to take a fight, but maybe he's gonna back off because that Blademaster did just take a lot of damage, and that's actually pretty funny how much damage he did just take.
A lot of players, like if it's the first time they meet it, they lose their heroes all the time just to the DPS.
I certainly remember that I would when I started playing versus Mass Archer. I mean, it wasn't with the hunts. It's definitely a twist I haven't seen on it, but it's a lot of damage. It really is, and it's a little bit scary in all honesty. I know as an undead player, I like to go with the high armor abominations, but I don't know what the orc really has. I'm not really sure that Taurens would be viable versus this.
I don't think so. It depends how the game goes, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on how the game goes. But we do have a fight. Looks like definitely maybe going to come over the way. Both players maybe vying for position here.
Fight. I'm trying to just get mana burns.
Ah, okay.
Being annoying.
And doing a lot of damage. Maybe are you forcing... It looks like maybe you're forcing some healing salves on that Blademaster. Which, 33 gold a pops. It's not bad.
And I'm also buying time because I had to break upkeep to be able to fight this. So now we're reasonably even in food. And I have better heroes.
Yeah. Oh, you do, yes, you do. You have 3-3 versus is he still 2-2? Yeah, he is still 2-2. Wow. And his items are not, they're okay, but he doesn't have like any kind of, he doesn't have a potion of invulnerability, which would definitely be nice versus this on his Blademaster. You can actually keep him in the fight, another 7 seconds.
I think I made him use it a bit better.
Oh, okay.
Because I have these owls, I don't think he noticed all my sentinels, so I see him all the time.
Oh. Well, this fight is going to come underway, and I do like how you're going ahead and bringing those Wisp in to go ahead and get the detonates off, try to cancel some of that Spirit Link, as well as some of the mana getting gone. And I also like how you're immediately doing tons of damage to that Blademaster. As you can see, he's tanking a lot. He did have to pop both of his scrolls. That Tauren Chieftain kind of running in the back. He did pick up level 3, but he's out of mana at this point. I don't know quite how many casts he got off. In terms of who's winning this fight, it's a little bit messy. But I'm going to be honest, it looks to me like right now maybe ORCworker is, but your heroes are doing pretty well, so I don't know.
He's really winning the army fight. I thought I was losing, to be honest. But the thing is, his heroes are almost... They can't really do much right now.
Yeah, no, they definitely can't. That Demon Hunter getting very low, gonna pop a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Level 4 being picked up right now on the Keeper of the Grove. And now that Blademaster is gonna get entangled. Oh, he's in a bit of trouble now. He might actually go down right here, taking loads of damage. No, maybe just gonna be able to get just out. And the Tauren Chieftain, however, is gonna chase a little bit too far for that Demon Hunter. And not gonna pick up the kill. Gonna die though, picking up level 4 on the Demon Hunter. And the Blademaster died as well. So Wow, that was an impressive win from you. I really didn't think you were gonna win that fight. That was really well done.
I think it was mostly like he micros a lot better than I do, so I just kind of attack moved, to be honest, in that fight, and I used my spells and stuff. So.
Well, I mean, you know what? If you can find a strategy that can work with just attack move, then props to you. Unless it's got a Blademaster in it, at which point no one likes you.
That's kind of my goal with all these strategies. Just the easiest possible micro.
Well, that's a good plan. I mean, Warcraft 3 is at its root RTS, a real-time strategy game, and a lot of people actually underestimate, I think, the amount of strategy that is in Warcraft 3. And they all, like, you see it all the time where people say Warcraft 3 is 90% micro, but I don't agree with that. And I'm curious, what is your take on that? Because I mean, basically, it seems to me like it would almost not be. You would have to disagree with that. But I don't know.
I think it has a lot of potential strategy, but you can also play like completely standard every game, and there's nothing your opponent can sort of take advantage. Like if you compare to StarCraft 2 or something. Where if you do the same build every game, then your opponent, if he knows about it, he can really just sort of metagame you and destroy you. But there's no real comparison in Warcraft 3.
Okay. Well, thank you for your input. You have actually provided a lot of great information. So hopefully, you guys really enjoyed this. This is kind of special again. Starshaped is a great players on DkH. So once again, thank you for doing this cast. Maybe we'll do another one in the future. Maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And that's the game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And as always, we'll see you next time.